Three of Hong Kong's most well-known pro-democracy activists have been sentenced to prison. Joshua Wong will spend around 13 months in jail, while Agnes Chow will spend 10 months for their role in last year's protests. Another activist, Ivan Lam, will be in prison for 7 months. Demonstrations outside Hong Kong's police headquarters in 2019 were triggered by the introduction of a controversial extradition bill, which has since been shelved. Let's go live down to Hong Kong. Al Jazeera's Adrian Brown is outside the courthouse there. Adrian, tell us more about these sentences.
Well, Adrian, the latest chapter in Hong Kong's continuing political drama has been taking place here at West Kowloon Magistrates Court, where within the past hour, the best-known young political activist in Hong Kong, Joshua Wong, has been sentenced to 13.5 months in jail. He was convicted of inciting an unlawful assembly, as well as organising an unlawful assembly. Agnes Chow, his close friend and colleague in the ongoing protest movement, was convicted, given a 10-month sentence for participating in an illegal assembly, and also a second charge of helping organise it. The third person, Ivan Lam, received a 7-month sentence. Now, they had faced possibly a maximum sentence of up to 3 years, but in spite of all that, Agnes Chow is still in a pretty serious situation, because 4 months ago she was arrested under the new national security law on suspicion of colluding with foreign powers. Now, she's been out on bail, or had been, until she pleaded guilty a week ago. And if she is convicted, though, on that, if she is charged and convicted, she faces the prospect of, life in jail. Now, barely a week goes by, Adrian, without, a young activist being prosecuted in court. Since early last June, more than 10,000 people have been arrested. 1,000 of them are under the age of 18, and so far there have been a total of just over 2,300 prosecutions. It means that the courts here in Hong Kong are becoming clogged. In fact, they're still processing people who were arrested during the Occupy umbrella movement 7 years ago. So this is something that's going to tie up the courts for weeks, perhaps years to come. We know that Joshua Wong is no stranger, of course, to jail. He has done 3 stints in prison before. This will be his 4th. And of course, he's been arrested no less than 10 times. It means, of course, that Agnes Chow, who turns 24 on Thursday, will be spending her birthday beginning a 10-month jail sentence. And remember, these 3 activists are all under the age of 26, and yet in many ways they are now veterans of the pro-democracy movement.
Why, Adrian, did the 3 plead guilty?
Well, they decided to plead guilty 9 days ago after consultations with their lawyers. It hasn't been explained exactly why they decided to do that, but of course it meant that they avoided a lengthy trial. Perhaps they felt that by pleading guilty they would get a shorter sentence. They were certainly facing the prospect of up to 3 years in jail, because that's the maximum sentence a magistrate's court here in Hong Kong can give. But the fact that they have received, sentences in excess of 6 months, I think will probably bring a lot of critical comments from many governments around the world, especially the incoming Biden administration in the United States, because the president-elect has said that he believes that China will be his foreign policy priority. And of course, Hong Kong, in many ways, is at the center of all of that.
Al Jazeera's Adrian Brown reporting live there from Hong Kong. Adrian, many thanks indeed.